Going live in 3, 2, 1. Gone live. So, like I was saying, yesterday I was explaining the last thing on HTML before I was trying to go into CSS. That is going to CSS. Hopefully tonight I'm going to do normal introduction to CSS. Then tomorrow I will start the CSS proper, unquote. You get. So the last thing I talked about yesterday was more of how to insert a video in HTML. How to insert a video in HTML, how to insert an audio in HTML, how to insert a YouTube video in HTML. You get, some of those videos that you see, and you might see a YouTube video being inserted. How to do all of those stuffs. You get. So that is it. And to insert a video, I'm just doing a little bit recap because Suyan was not available yesterday. So to insert a video file, you have to use this video tag here, this video element here. Open that. You really? Okay, you've already followed up on the video. Okay, it's better I just do the CSS introduction and move along with it. Yeah. So, we've done a little bit on CSS, and majorly CSS is what we use to do styling. Yet we style with CSS. We do all our designs on HTML with CSS. You get. So HTML is more like the sketch, or like call it the blocks. Why we use the CSS to style those blocks. You get. So like I said, tonight is just gonna be like a brief something. It's not really going to be like full sketch in depth, but we're gonna go into certain various things. And also, if you've noticed, we've done a little bit on CSS stuffs. Like since we progressed, we've actually been doing some CSS things already. All those background color, all those font color, the font family, all of those things are CSS properties. You get. All those text decoration and many of all of those things, setting of width and setting of height and all of those things, they are part of the CSS that we've been working on. Okay, so what does CSS mean? CSS means cascade style sheet. Cascading style sheet. That is actually a full meaning. The same way HTML means hypertext markup language. So HTML means hypertext markup language. Why CSS means cascading style sheet. So that's actually what CSS means, and we have all known what CSS. We've come across CSS almost everywhere, in the sense that almost every website you visit has a CSS embedded in it. if you go to Facebook, if you go to Twitter, say I'm on Facebook right now. Let me go to Facebook as an example. And I go to Facebook, all those designs, all those blue designs that you'll be seeing on Facebook, and all the flashy things, because CSS is mostly for styling. All of these things are actually done with CSS. You get. If you go over to Twitter, the same thing. If you go over to Twitter, the same thing too. You'll realize that everything that you're seeing that you feel as though this website is fine, the styling is fine, all of those things is actually done with CSS. You get. I don't know any other language that you can use to start styling. You get it. It might actually be available. Another type of styling mechanism can be on, because the world is so vast in the sense that technology is always improving. You get. But one thing I know for sure is everything you'll be seeing here, all of these colors, all of this are all done with CSS. Okay, you guys are following back? All right, Christopher, what about you? Okay, so let's go back to our code, and I'm not gonna waste too much time. I'm just going to talk about the syntax and some of all of the important stuff. Because so before I begin, I'll just make that some short prayers we always do before doing anything. Father, I invite you and I ask that you should come and take control. Help us to understand what we are going to be learning from this second month. Because this is 15th and we are starting CSS from this 15th. So I ask that you should help us to understand things better and to learn better. In Jesus' name. Amen. So CSS actually has a syntax. You get. It has a syntax. And the same way we write our HTML codes, and we have to open a tag, and inside that tag we have to create writing our attributes inside a tag. The same way it is in CSS. CSS comes with a selector. What a selector is. We'll be using selector, but you actually not know that it's a selector. So say for example I'm gonna wipe all of this, use a normal H1, all this. I am amazing. I'm amazing. Now, for me to style this, remember we have inline CSS, but for now, I don't think we will be doing inline CSS anymore. I actually want us to be using a normal external CSS. So I'll come here, give you an H1. I am amazing. Then link my CSS over here. Link my CSS, which is HTML. Your CSS. Now, over here, what I'll do is that For me to style this HTML code over here, remember I said that you have to call on that element, but you can say that element, then give it a curly brace. That's how we've been doing it. Give it a curly brace. And start giving it our commands. Now this H1 here, it's called the selector. Yet that is what we are going to use. So just writing H1 is like we are selecting the elements inside here, inside our HTML code that we want to style. You get it. Can, even if it's a class, you can call this a class. Give it a class name and say we're going to give it class name of text. For us to style that same thing, we will still come here and put in that selector, and the selector can be our class name. So dot text. I don't know if you're getting me, Christopher. I have to split the screen so you see it better. It can be dot text. Open your curly braces. Get. Now it's inside these curly braces that you can give all of those CSS properties, or the CSS declaration you want to give. That is the CSS properties and their values. You get. And it's more like saying color can be red. You can say background color can be white. No, background color is white by default. You can say background color can be gray. Get. So if I should come over to my code over here, and I refresh, you see the text and the background color. You get. These are something that we've done, and we'll continue to go into them more often. So I've explained how to select with this. Assuming, let me create another element or another tag and give it another one. If I should say, okay, I don't want to use this element selector, I want to use my class selector. I want to start with using my class as the selector, and I can see that same color will be red, background color will be gray. If I should open my code, you will see the same thing. But let me do something now. If I should change this to normal, first let me remove the one in the middle and give it a normal font tag. And this refreshes, my code refreshes, you'll find that it turns back to normal. But then I can also give it an ID. If I give it an ID, I can give the ID name text1. I want to style this based on my ID. Remember, I said ID can only be used once. It's like a unique. If it's class, you can give multiple elements the same class name. But as long as it's ID, you have to use ID only once. You get? So I can come here to style based on the ID. I'll have to use hash txt1. Then open my curly braces and say color green, background color let's give it purple. Wonder who uses green and purple. If you check the code or what is run on the browser, you find that it's green and purple that is actually being run. Okay, so you can actually style based on the, what are they calling it, based on your class name, the ID name, also the element name. You can also style with another method too. Let me give this a paragraph. Fill it up with dummy text. Lorem 7. I can give it this a class name. I can give it a class name of dummy. Now, after giving it a class name of dummy, I can create another paragraph tag. Give it a class name. Or for now, let's just leave it open. Give it lorem 7 again. Now, maybe I want to style this one here. I can decide that, okay, I want to style all the paragraphs that has dummy as the class name. There's another way to do that too. You can actually come and use this P, which is the element, dot, then you now put the class name dummy. And give it color yellow. Then background color black. If you notice, the same thing still works. You get? So you can actually use p.center too, or you use the normal class name. Any one of them you use will work too. Now, when we start working on projects, there is this selector that you also need to know about, and that is more like it's always written at the first side. It's called a universal selector. You want to give everything a kind of wildcard declaration. If it is in terms of computer programming, you is called Y cap whenever you are using asterisks. So you use asterisks and say that you are declaring everything, every element. You get, you are giving it this type of style. So anytime you use that asterisk, which is this, anytime you use this asterisk, you are kind of more doing like a general kind of declaration to, or you are saying you are doing a kind of general selection. So you are selecting every element and you are styling them. So you can say, when you use that, you can say background color can be yellow, or just give it yellow green. If I should open up my VS Code, you will notice that everything here is already giving a yellowish green background color. You get. So you guys are following back. Vivian, what about you? Vivian. Okay. So there is another type of styling I get, and also this is the one you've always been using. Not necessarily another type of styling, but a type of selector that, remember, if I have different tags here, if I should say, okay, let me create another tag, P, and give it a lorem 7. And give it again another P. And give it a lorem 7. And I come over here, come to my CSS, and I decide to use the P element and style it. I can say font family sans serif. Normally, what will happen here is that all the P elements here, all the P elements that doesn't have any other thing attached to it, we have that font style. You get. So if I use this P element, every element that is P will automatically have this font style. There is no other two ways about it. Now, if, for example, now and I want to like give a specific font style for some, especially this one that has a class name, I can just come here and say, okay, dummy has a class name, so I will say dot dummy and give it a font family of, let's use this Cinder Sans and others. If I should go to my browser, you'll notice that the font family is different from these other ones. So technically, by default, all the P's, all the paragraph tags have this font family here. But when I start styling class specific styling, it will override that general style that was given to it. You get? Then lastly, you can actually like style different elements at once. Remember, I said that to style different elements, instead of you writing them separately, just have to use comma and separate them. So I can say h1, comma, p. Then open my list, my curly braces, and say font size, and say 20px. Once I use 20px, you'll find that the font size has increased. Now, the H1 here, something happened. They are not reflecting in text. So I'm going to, why they are not reflecting in terms of font size is because of they are already styled with the classes and ID here. So the class has already styled it and all those stuff. So I'm going to like create a dummy H1. Create a name dummy. Then PH1 maybe increases to like 50. Then open my browser. If you look closely, all of them now have the same font size. You get? So even if I change the font family, you will see it very well. I can say font family. You see that all of them have the same font family. You get? So if you want to actually like style different elements or different selectors, you can actually use that as an approach. You can put either the element name, whether it's h1, comma, whether it's p or comma. You can say .txt, that is the class, comma, maybe dot dummy. If you want to style all of them at once, just separate them with a comma and do your normal styling. As long as they all have the same type of styling that is needed. You get? So, what's the point of all of this? This is like a glimpse of what we are going to be going into, or we're going to be going into from tomorrow. You get? I've explained about the inline CSS and external CSS. You get? I talked about how the inline CSS is always done inside the first starting tag, where you come and start putting your style and all of those stuff. Yet, which is not sometimes for me. I actually don't want us to use it, and also the, and
You mean the CSS?
yes, though it's good, but it's not what we are going to be using. Uh, generator. I need to open up my browser. I think my screen is no longer showing to you guys,
It is. It's fine.
but it's frozen.
I think so. If you're doing anything now, I
Okay.
wouldn't know, but nothing's happening on the screen. Only frozen.
Okay, so it's a sign that this is where I will have to be stopping. So I've talked about the inline CS and I've talked about the external CSS. Yeah. So I think over the course of us doing HTML, I have been able to like touch some things in CSS. So CSS should be faster for us. So one of our major focus on CSS would be mobile responsiveness and also flexbox yet and setting of layouts and all of those things. That is why it will start getting, well, I say, tricky. Yeah, so you just have to like pay very attention to all of those parts. So from tomorrow we'll continue. Today is more like our intro class. So from tomorrow we're going to continue and finish up where we started. All right, Vivian, is there any other thing?
I just need to confirm if Vivian has actually been hearing us.
That's how.
This is still having network challenges.
I don't think she's having network challenges, but I don't know. Well, her mic is muted. But
Yeah.
so this is the part I'll be migrating and saying good night. We'll go again tomorrow and
Alright.
well, just be anticipating. You know what to be anticipating. That's just the thing.
The tougher part of the thing, I guess.
Yeah. Then after this one, the tougher one comes again, which is JavaScript, and another tougher one comes. So it gets tougher as we progress. So just clear your mind and settle it. All right. Good night
Alright.
and see you tomorrow.
Alright. Good night.
Yeah.